Alright, just a quick Thursday afternoon weather update on what I think is going on. I know I haven't done a video in a million years, but guys, I have not left TNEWL. I plan on doing this until I die or until I can't really do it anymore. We had some beautiful temps yesterday, beautiful temps out there today, 60s for a lot of folks. And by the way, I was out in Sudbury yesterday catching some video of the Concord River completely flooding part of the town. I even caught some footage of a dog just getting caught up in those rapids. So amazing stuff, and I'll try to upload that video to the site. But I might have some problems with it. But anyway, very nice temps out there today. 60s for a lot of folks, 50s further north. But even then, it's pretty difficult to complain. Here you can see a wider, more detailed view of what's going on. You've got 70s going on throughout a lot of the Mid-Atlantic, and I'm sure as the warmth invades much of New England, most of us won't be complaining. By this time Friday, look at that, a little slime of slivery 70s continuing to head up the coast. I think there's no doubt in my mind that a 76-degree temp was measured under the car yesterday afternoon. Unbelievable, but it's true. Also, 70-degree temps are also likely through the day on Friday. Look at those 70s just coming right on north. By the time we get to Saturday, things also very warm. The WRF NAM model, which is usually a relatively conservative model, says there's no doubt that the temps will reach 70 in a lot of spots. So the WRF is not by any means backing down on the very warm temps. Look at that, 75 or 80 possible down further south. What's actually interesting is parts of southern Florida have been rather chilly today. The Weather Channel tweeted that they have seen some record lows down to 64 degrees. How chilly is that, huh, guys? Not really. So anyway, for the setup we're going to be looking for Sunday is basically another warm day is on tap, but we've got cooler air out to the west. We've got 30s going on through northern Illinois. We've got 30s going on through Canada. So what's happening here is we've basically got a significant storm that's getting caught up in a trough, and you can see what's going on here. We've got a storm that's come out of the Pacific, and it's interacting with colder air coming down out of Montana. Basically, what's happening is as it develops through the plains, we could see 3 to 6 inches of snow during the weekend, but once it gets caught up in a trough through the Ohio Valley, it's going to continue to pull in cold air. And what do we know about troughs and storms? Usually a trough amplifies a storm, and that does happen as you go through time. Very heavy rain spreads through the Ohio Valley. And you can see by the time we get to Monday into Tuesday, a very heavy rain event is likely here. Over 1 to 2 inches is possible, and I'm sure that's the last thing we want to hear as New Englanders after what's already happened with this flooding. I think the setup will basically be one area of rain coming through on Monday. It's probably going to come through northern New England more than anybody else, and then the real system will be building and interacting with the trough, and I'm going to show you the 500 millibar pattern in just a second. Look as you go through time through the day Tuesday, especially the first half of the day Tuesday. You can see by 12Z Tuesday just pounding us. You can see 18Z Tuesday, very heavy rain still spreading in, and it takes you just all night to really just get it out. Even some residual showers on Wednesday. So the potential for a very heavy early week rain event next week. How much rain will we actually see? I'm going to get to that in a second. But what I also want to show you is the 500 millibar vorticity pattern, because you know, guys, I'm always getting amped up on this because I love it. And you can see how here's the storm. Here's the colder air through Canada. You go through time. Storm interacts with that colder air. You can see clearly that getting the cold air down. That is really getting amplified down in the south. You go through time. That interacts with a trough. Here's that area of negative vorticity moving through, actually positive vorticity moving through northern New England. And that's with the first batch coming through on Monday. So you can see that very clearly on the 500 millibar pattern. Beyond this, I think essentially we're going to be talking about, unfortunately, some cooler temps behind it. But I said I'd show you what's going to be going on with how much rain's actually going to fall. I never lie. Well, I try to never lie, at least in what I'm going to show you in my videos. Here you can see the GFS says no doubt a solid, probably 1 to 3 inches likely. It's probably not going to be the 10-inch kind of rainfall that we just saw. But I do think it's going to be a very heavy soaking rainfall here for the early week. Anyway, as I was hinting to, behind the storm, I think there's also no doubt in my mind that cooler air will certainly be entering in. So let's see if I can find you the surface temperature plot from the GFS to give you an accurate analysis of the temps. And there we go. So you can see here's the storm, the low pressure indicated going through Arkansas, getting amped up. Colder air behind it, but it's kind of pulling up some warmer air, so it's probably going to be a rain event, obviously. Here it is, colder air coming behind it, but there's also a pretty good spread of warmth that's also coming behind it, and you can see how, unfortunately, that warmth is going to get overtaken by a new, very strong flow of positive advection coming from Canada, from the Maritimes of Canada. How do you guys pronounce that? Is it the Canadian Maritimes, Canada Maritimes? I have no idea. Like, I shouldn't be saying this in a video, but my Canadian geography knowledge is very little. But anyway, enough about that. Essentially, what you're talking about is the wind, a flow coming into the New England from the north and east, and that's allowing for some cooler air to be coming in, although we've got warmth overspreading. And as you go through time, by the time we get to Thursday of next week, which would be about a week out, warmer air comes in. The general trend, guys, it's spring. You know, the Earth's axis is tilting. The northern hemisphere is warming up. It's spring, so that's what's happening. And so essentially, it's going to be warming up the middle to end of next week. But we're going to have some cool for probably midweek next week. And I think early week's going to bring just a soaking rain. Before that, the weekend looking awesome. Absolutely beautiful. Again, with those 70-degree temps coming through. All right, that's it for now. See you guys later. It's Nick for the New England Weather Life.ning.com.